Anand. I'm founder of Camphor Networks. You can access my website at camphornetworks.com. Today, I will show you a very interesting use case on the platform. So here, I have a Camphor platform installed on a distributed cluster of machines. You could be running it typically on premise or on public cloud. For my example, I'm running it on AWS, but at this use case, you would want this actually on premise. Anyway, so this is a multi-tenancy based environment. So I have a bunch of projects wherein in each project you can create a network. Okay. Today I'm going to show an interesting use case where I show how large-scale Kubernetes clusters can be easily spawned with Panonis filtering the packets. Okay, so I'm going to select the Kubernetes cluster and just show you the topology right now, what it is. Okay, high-level topology. What high-level topology is basically, I have a set of 50 like 50 nodes based Kubernetes cluster. They're all connected in the back end with what I call internal network, and each of them is front ending with a PAN-OS actually. Okay, so each of these small little boxes on the front is a PAN. So totally, if you look at all the devices that I have, is 101 actually. Why? Because I have 50 compute nodes, one master, and 50 PAN-OS. One PAN-OS firewall is front ending each compute. Okay, so this is what it looks like in the Camphor perspective. Now, the interesting part is that we are going to front end this with the Amazon load balancer. I'll show you. So this is the same picture written in the diagram manually. So here, if you look at it, here is the internal net, like set of master and the compute node, 50 of them. They are connected by the internal network, so they can directly talk to them quickly. This, and then each of the computes is front-ended with the PAN-OS firewall. So there are 50 PAN-OSs, and now they have and this is configured in the virtual wire mode. So packets coming onto one interface egress will be passed to the computes here, and then coming back in the same way. If the packet is good, of course, right? Any attacks will be supposed to be filtered by the PAN-OS. Now there's an outbound internet access. What I have here at the bottom, so anything below this green line is sort of the public cloud. You can imagine this you can assume it as on-premise. So here I have a Amazon network load balancer, which is front-ending 50 compute for Amazon instances. Okay, so these are really small, T2 medium. It just has got like a 1 CPU and like 1 gig of memory, so really cheap. Okay, so I've launched 50 of them using Terraform, and these load balancer are talking to or configured to talk against these instances. But typically what happens is the work gets done in these instances, right? Which are very pricey actually from the public cloud perspective. But what happens here is in Camphor, you can seamlessly connect this in the so-called multi-cloud connectivity. So there's a connection from secure connection with TLS 1.3 from each of these instances to the corresponding ingress interface of these firewalls. Okay, so traffic actually going from hitting the load balancer will hit one of these instances. It will go over the securely with the encryption applied over the internet to one of these corresponding PAN-OS instances. Then it gets filtered in PAN-OS, then it goes to compute, and then actual workload happens, and traffic comes back. Okay, so this is sort of what I want to show in this really short demo. Okay, so here's the way these 150 instances. So quickly, this is the on-premise where I have 4 machines running. But it's actually AWS, but I'm using it to show as on-premise where the Camphor cluster is running, in which there's this 100 node Kubernetes or 50 node Kubernetes cluster with 50 PAN-OS running. Okay. Now let's look at how the load balancer looks. What is the health of it? So this is a network load balancer. I'm mapping a bunch of ports from the load balancer. Not all the ports are actually active. Only 2 ports are interesting. We can show the SSH port, and then there is a sample application port. Okay. So the SSH port, you can see, I'll refresh this page. So you can see all 50 are healthy. So basically all 50 nodes from here, all if you go back to the picture, where is my picture? Here, I think, yeah. So all these 50 nodes, so if the load balancer is trying to do an SSH connection or TCP connection port 22 to one of these instances, which will get transported here, and then the response comes back from the compute one, then that's marked as healthy. Right? So that's what you see here. They're all healthy. So everything is nice. Okay. Similarly, there's another application port 3441, sorry, 3001, where there's only 9 healthy compute. This is because I think the bug in the Kubernetes itself. For some reason, it's not able to scale. There's some underlying CNI issue outside Camphor actually, but at least you can see how well the whole mapping happens. So I have 9 healthy nodes. Because I do have 9 healthy nodes, now I can access this load balancer URL from the internet. Okay, so I'll access this load balancer from the internet. So it should be HTTPS. Oh, sorry, my port is wrong because that's only at a different port, not the 443. So here, this is a sample, like a sock shop application running, where you can sort of, you can shop for socks. Basically, it's a simple e-commerce application. So this is actually running in this Kubernetes cluster. Okay, so that's the beauty. The traffic is actually coming through the PAN-OS or secure channel. So you can really build clones of your large data center network, data center or on-premise cloud-based network very easily. So I'll show you, for example, one of the PAN-OS. Let's say if I go to PAN-OS 4, I click on that button. I have direct connection to the PAN-OS dashboard. So I can log in here. So once again, just to clarify, this PAN-OS is running on-premise, but it's securely connected to a corresponding small micro instance in the AWS, which is behind the load balancer. So it's almost as if you're running everything in AWS, except that you don't have to build these large instances in AWS, which cost quite a bit of money. So here you kind of have a good cost savings, and you get to use the best of both public and the private cloud, if you will. So this is the PAN-OS VM. So let's, I guess it takes some time to load. But because I think logging in for the first time into this VM, it has some setups. So here you can see the PAN-OS dashboard. I've configured, I believe, 2 interfaces in the same zone. And this response may be a little bit slow because actually I'm recording the screen, not really because the system is slow. The laptop sort of really go for a toss when I record video. So here if I go to the network, in this particular PAN-OS instance 4, you can see that 2 virtual wires are happening here, and that's how the traffic goes from this one and coming out of this one. Okay, I haven't configured much of monitoring, but you can pretty much use this just like it's running in the regular cloud. So how did I configure all this? Right, obviously with 100% automation, and the way it is configured is like this. First of all, let me show you the Terraform. Right, the way I created the load balancer is in Terraform, and if you look at the Terraform output, this is the Terraform output command. We can see there's a 50 AWS micro instances launched. Each of there has a bunch of private IPs, the names, and there's public IP because each of them needs to have public IP in order to have a secure tunnel to the backend, and then there's a secondary subnet to a seamless pass-through. Okay, now this is just a simple Terraform setup, which usually comes up in probably 15 minutes or so. Okay, that's how I configured the Terraform public cloud part. Now, as far as the private cloud is concerned, it is actually used using, it was created using this simple topology file. I'll show you large file. Okay, so here this is a simple YAML file. You can see it's got a simple Kubernetes node configuration master. There's a compute with like a bunch of CPUs and a bunch of PAN-OSs, 50 in fact, 50 computes and 50 PAN-OS. This is how easily you can create this really complex network, with just a piece of few lines. This is like a Jinja template where you have the generated YAML, and this YAML file loads bring up the entire topology, and you can also run some jobs. So I'm running 2 jobs here. Actually, one job in each compute I'm running what is called Kubernetes setup. So when the machines come up, it's going to install Kubernetes so that I can show you this demo, right? And then there is a secure tunnel setup that happens in the PAN-OS pod, if you will, where the ingress interface of the PAN-OS is securely connected to the public cloud AWS instance. Okay, so this is all it is, guys. I mean, how many lines is this really? 78 lines with a copy rate of 14. So you're talking about 50, 60 lines of code here, and then a few Terraform output, and boom, you'll get the whole thing in one shot. You have a full dashboard to access both on the private cloud side, so you have access to a dashboard. You can look at any device, you can log into any device from here. So in fact, let me log into the master device from here. Sorry, let's see if it's still a little bit slow. Yeah, I'm able to log in. So I just log into Kubernetes master to showcase. So I'm going to log into master from here. So this is the master. So if you see the Kubernetes cluster, It's got these 50 compute nodes, everything. This is being funded with the Panos instance, and it's got direct access to the internet. It has direct access to the internet. It also has access to the compute. So this is how easily you can create these massive networks very easily in a matter of few minutes on Camphor. I hope you like this demo. There's a lot of complexity is happening here behind the scenes, but to give a nutshell, this picture kind of sums it up all. You have a classic load balancer with a bunch of cloud instances. Typically, these instances, let's say you want to cover them with Panos, that's going to cost quite a bit of money because you're going to spend a lot of CPU memory and all. But here, you can do this seamlessly using small instances, take the traffic securely over the internet to your private on-premise, launch these instances, with the Panos or anything else, Cisco with Juniper, with whatever it may be, and build a network of your choice. So you could even build complete virtual data centers on Camphor. I hope you like it. Please contact me if you need anything. I'm always available at info@camphornetworks.com. Once again, my website, let me show you here, camphornetworks.com. My name is Anand. I'm the founder of this really cool platform, I believe. Hopefully you like it. I look forward to working with you soon. Bye-bye.